Speaker number 8, Mateusz Wies, Poland. Mateusz, please.
Thank you, Connie. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters, or I should say, dzień dobry, which means good day or hello in Poland. I'm sure you can practice it after your speech. Before I tell you a little bit about Poland, country where I grew up, I was born and raised in Poland. I left the United States only 5-6 years ago. So most of my life was in Poland or in Europe. This is a country between Germany and Russia, if you can imagine, if you can see the map, European map right now, that's Poland right there. Before I tell you the story about Poland, I wanted to tell you how I ended up in the United States, and especially here in Southern California in Coachella Valley, Palm Desert. Imagine about 0 degrees Fahrenheit. It's March, still 0 degrees Fahrenheit, 2 to 3 feet of snow, fresh snow. And I'm on my way to the airport to Berlin. I live close to German border, so it was close to Berlin, one of the biggest airports there. And it took me 1 hour to clear the way so I can leave with my car because there was so much snow and the fresh snow was still pouring down. So it took me about 1 hour to clear the way. I got to the airport, I landed in Palm Springs, and March in Palm Springs, for those who know, you can't compare it to anything else. The weather here during this time is the most beautiful, magnificent weather I've ever experienced in my life. So that was pretty much the biggest impact on my decision to moving to the United States. Later, a few months ago, actually, a few months later, I should say not months ago, but a few months later, I met a beautiful Polish woman here in California who happened to be here just for Christmas, but decided to stay a bit longer. Came from Warsaw, the capital in Poland. It happened to be that this is my wife right now, and our wedding, beautiful wedding that you can see if you are interested. It happened to be in Poland. We rented a 17th century palace in Poland. You can see it on my Instagram. I can share a link with those who would like to see the entire trailer. It's a 4 or 5 minute video. The wedding. We had our wedding in Poland, 150 plus guests. It was the most beautiful moment in our life. Beautiful renovated castle or palace there. Now, what am I missing here that I obviously cannot have? What am I missing about Poland? Living here in California, far away. I just came back from Europe. Took me close to 24 hours to get to my hometown in Poland. So there's a lot of travel, a lot of airports that you have to visit to get there, but definitely worth it. I highly encourage everyone to visit Poland during the summertime because you want to experience 0 degrees Fahrenheit, which is unpleasant to visit all those churches, castles from 15th centuries, 14th centuries, 17, 18, the history. This country is breathing history. So everywhere you go, you see something unique, something that has hundreds of years of history in it. Even villages, little cities, they played a big role in history. So you can see something from that time as well. We have sea to the north. So now when the summertime comes, everyone drives to the north and you have beautiful weather and nice places where you can relax. We have mountains to the south, beautiful mountains that you can visit during the winter time if you are into skiing. But it's really beautiful. The most beautiful memories that I have from those mountains were during the summer times where we were hiking there. There's people that are the mountain people. I'm not sure if there's a straight translation into English, but they speak Polish, but they have their own slang. They have their own even words and their own food. That's the most delicious food, most delicious homemade foods that you can get in Poland. It's in the south, in the mountains. So definitely, if you get there, you will see the difference between the rest of Poland and south, where you have all those beautiful mountains and beautiful people that are always welcoming guests from all over the world. So those are the things that I miss the most. Obviously, my family, most of my family is still there. We travel frequently to Poland. And that is something that will be never will change, because my family's ever growing. There's so many new coming kids right now in the way. So I'm a godparent of some of them as well. So I am obligated to travel to Poland. So if you are ever going to be there during the summertime, we can perhaps even meet. And Europe is so open that, not during this time, but usually it's so open that it's so simple to travel through so many countries such as France, Spain, Germany, Poland, UK. There's literally $40-50 sometimes to fly to different country, different history, different people, different communities. So it's very, very important for us to also travel to different countries when you're there. Now, back to Poland, what is it? How can you remember my speech maybe, or how can you remember Poland when you do something next time? It's quite simple. Poland is very popular for vodka. I'm sure you've heard about Belvedere, Chopin, and I heard previous speakers, Bond, this is referring to you, making friends without alcohol. It's not possible in Poland. You have to have, this is our wedding vodka, you have to have that next to you. And don't worry. The only store that is open 24/7, no matter if there's pandemic or not, the only store 24/7 is a liquor store where you can buy all kinds of vodkas. And those are the most popular ones, are Belvedere, Chopin. Probably seen them somewhere in restaurants here. So that is something that we're popular for. We like to drink sometimes more, sometimes less, but definitely vodka is always on the table when you visit. So is a lot of food. We never leave the tables empty. So when you visit some Polish family, you will see that that table is completely packed, and there's all kinds of different foods that you will enjoy. So that is my story about Poland and how I ended up in the United States. I'm looking forward to those inspiring stories in today's meeting. Thank you very much, and back to you, Connie.
Thank you, Mateusz. When Tom and I put Poland on our travel wish list, we'll put a little asterisk with summertime. And congratulations on your wedding.